In connected speech, we can transcribe stress at the sentence level rather than at the word level only. Typically, within a phrase or sentence, one word is more important than other words in the sentence or phrase. This word will normally be pronounced with higher pitch, greater intensity, and longer duration than other words in the sentence or phrase. We say that that word has primary sentence stress. Most of the time, but not always, the word with primary sentence stress will be a content word. A content word is a word that has semantic meaning, like a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. Function words, on the other hand, are ones that have primarily syntactic or grammatical meaning. That is, these words primarily express their function in the sentence. Often, function words will be unstressed in a word or phrase, and their vowels will be reduced to schwa or I, although not always. Function words include pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and articles. Sometimes a word or syllable that would be unstressed in a sentence or in a word does receive primary stress in order to contrast it with something else, often to avoid misunderstanding. For example, in the sentence, "I was going to the dance when I saw the accident," the word to would normally be unstressed and the vowel would be transcribed as schwa. But if I wanted to make it clear that it was on the way there and not on the way back that something happened, I might stress the word to, like this: "No, I was going to the dance when I saw the accident." In another example, the words 15 and 50 can sound a lot alike, so I might stress the second syllable of both words, which typically have stress on the first syllable, if someone misunderstood me. For example, in the following sentence, "No, we caught 50 lobsters, not 15. Making an unstressed syllable stressed in order to contrast with something else is called contrastive stress. When we transcribe sentence stress in a sentence or phrase, we assign primary stress to one word. We mark primary stress using a small vertical line above and to the left, like for the primary word stress, on the syllable of the word that would normally receive primary stress in the citation form. Secondary stress marks are placed on the stressed syllable of each remaining content word in the sentence. The function words in the sentence will typically have reduced vowels and will therefore be unstressed and should receive no mark, unless contrastive stress occurs. For example, if I say the sentence, "Mary saw the parade," the most important word in the sentence was parade, and it should receive primary sentence stress on the second syllable, because that is the stressed syllable in the word parade. The remaining content words in the sentence are Mary and saw, so they should receive secondary stress marks. The word the is an article and therefore a function word and was pronounced with a reduced vowel. Therefore, this word should be marked as unstressed by not receiving a mark. It's usually pretty easy to figure out which is the stressed or most important word in a sentence. Often, the new and important information in a sentence is located near the end of the sentence or phrase. Pause the recording and read the conversation on the slide out loud, saying the indicated words with primary sentence stress. Then try saying other words in the sentences with primary stress and think about how it changes the meaning when you change the word that receives primary sentence stress. For example, "What are you doing tomorrow?" versus "What are you doing tomorrow?" In a normal conversation, primary sentence stress highlights new information for the listener. In other words, the pitch, intensity, and duration differences on the stressed word help the listener focus his or her attention on what is important in the sentence. Listen how it is the word that is different in each pair of sentences or phrases that is highlighted by primary sentence stress as I say the sentences on the slide. Did John go to the store? No, Mary went to the store. I didn't buy eggs, I bought milk. They didn't take credit cards, I used cash. When primary sentence stress is placed inappropriately in a sentence or phrase, it can make it hard for the listener to process the sentence appropriately. Listen to the following example sentences with primary sentence stress placed inappropriately in the second sentence or phrase. It's not that these words could never be stressed in these sentences. It's just that this pattern is not appropriate for these pairs of sentences or phrases. Here we go. I didn't buy eggs. I bought milk. They didn't take credit cards. I used cash. Pause here and complete exercises 7.10 through 7.13 in the chapter and review exercise K at the end of the chapter before continuing. Check your answers in the back of the book to make sure you understand. Remember that primary and secondary sentence stress marks do not go before the first syllable of the word unless the first syllable of the word is the one that is stressed in citation form. A mistake that people frequently make is to forget and to just put the primary sentence stress mark before the word itself and not before the stressed syllable in the word. This is the end of Part 3.